I gotta ask though. So I mean, so you mentioned you grew up kosher. Was like, was there the first time you stepped out of that box? Was that kind of, what was that moment like for you? Was it a challenging thing for you, or were you excited about it? You're like,
there's a
feel guilty.
No, I did feel guilty because that's what we do in our culture was
Right.
guilt. But the funny thing is, there is a Chicago connection to this experience because. So my brother passed away several years ago, but his college roommate was Mitch Einhorn, who was the founder of Lush Wine and Spirits and the Twisted Spoke.
Oh, cool.
Oh, wow.
And Mitch was from, I think, Homewood Flossmoor, and like, here's my brother from St. Cloud, Minnesota. They're at Denver University.
Yeah.
And there's this big, crazy, loud, wild guy named Mitch, my brother's roommates with. And, fast forward 20, 30 years, Mitch is now, was running Twisted Spoke. But back in the day when they came to visit, I mean, this must have been, I was probably 8 or 9, so mid-70s, late 70s. They came to St. Cloud to visit, and we went to a Chinese restaurant together, and Mitch ordered sweet and sour pork.
Yeah.
Because he grew up, he's Jewish, but he's like, whatever, he eats everything. And Mitch tells me to this day, he's like, I remember the time we were there, and, your parents weren't looking or something, and you tried my sweet and sour pork, and your eyes lit up like, holy shit, what is this? So Mitch was there at the beginning, which is kind of funny.
Yeah.
I mean, we still stay in touch, but that was when it happened. I was probably
That's
like 9
so
or
funny.
10.
Does he know this? Does he know this story that he's the reason that you broke kosher?
Oh, for sure. Yeah,
That's hilarious.
I broke my chair. Yeah, he was there. He helped break it. It was unbelievable, though. I mean, it was really like an epiphany for me.
Yeah.
Because we'd never had anything close. I mean, the closest we got was maybe pepperoni on a pizza from Domino's. That I remember I had to wait until I was in high school to convince my mom to let me bring it in the house.
Oh, wow.
And even then, we had to have it on paper plates. It couldn't touch any of the regular plates.
How did she feel that you were
How does she feel?
breaking kosher?
She had a hard time with it. I mean, and it got to the point where on my 40th birthday, she came to town, and we used to have an annual pig roast in my alley called the Pig and Pinot, and we had the Cajachina boxes.
Yeah.
And so that was like the ultimate slap in the face.
Yeah.
And she's like, I'm going to come for your birthday celebration, but on Sunday for your barbecue, I'm going to go home.
Oh.
She didn't want to stay and watch it.
Wow.
So it was a little hard because it is breaking a tradition in our family for sure. It ends, with me, and my kids don't keep kosher. They're not, I mean, they eat pork, they eat everything.
Oh, okay. Got
So
it.
it's really kind of sad.
It's kind of like how my parents reacted when I decided to start cooking.
Because that didn't have the prestige or the
Yeah,
right, it wasn't a profession that was honored.
They they said it was for bums.
But that wasn't the first generation. I mean, a lot of people were like that too. But I think these days this generation can prove that there is prestige to it. It does.
Oh, for sure.
It's a real business.
Yeah,
and
I think that's with anything almost, right? A lot of anything you go into, like if you take it serious enough or take it far enough, like you can get prestige in whatever you do.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.